Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations Exploring Consciousness. And today I have a very special guest joining us. Her name is Senaja. She's a certified breathwork practitioner who discovered that her mission was to bring breathwork to the world. And today she's going to share some simple yet potent breath practices that you can easily utilize in your daily life. Senaja offers both group and private online breathwork sessions to support people with healing trauma, managing stress, anxiety, depression, and much more. So you can find out more about Senaja's offerings by visiting her at her website, which I will also post in the comments after this show. So thank you for coming on to today's live. And if you're listening to this recording, I'm really happy that you're here and that we can share some really wonderful tools to support you right now with these very challenging times. And breath work, I can personally speak from experience. Breath work has really inspired me in so many ways. It's really opened me up. Today, actually, I even had a breathwork session with Senaja, and it was a beautiful intention setting breathwork session. And I got so much clarity and what I need to release from my life and what I need to embrace. So I'd like to give a warm welcome to Senaja. Thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much. And hello, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Today, wow. Today is a wild day. Everything has happened today it's been a full spectrum day. And as always, in all of my breath works, we welcome everything. And I think everything showed up for us today. But I'm excited. I'm feeling really happy and elated. And yeah, like wow, I wonder what's going to come out of our conversation today. Anything's possible.
That's wonderful. Maybe you could just start off telling us a little bit about how you discovered breath work and
Mm.
why have you chosen to that this is your mission, that this is what you want to share with the world. Just tell us a little bit about that, Sanaja. We'd love to hear about that.
Hmm. Yes, thank you, Michelle. So how I discovered breathwork. Wow. Whew, there's a few. It's where to begin this story. It's one of those life destiny situations in that at the very beginning, I was unconscious about connecting the dots that were appearing in my life. And then later on, it all became clear. Um, so there was a lot of practical things and mystical things that contributed to my conscious awareness of my destiny being a breath worker, my mission in life to be a breath worker and share the magic of breath with as many people as possible. Um, so how? Okay, the moment of awareness. Let's go there. To keep it brief, was I had the information I'm going to be a breath master, and when I was told that information, I had no idea what that meant until I found myself in Ubud in Bali for a while, and I got a yoga barn program, and on that was alchemy of breath. So I went along curious, and in that session, I experienced so much love. I was so full of love. I was so expanded. I was connected to all that is. I had great awareness, and the love that I didn't realize felt like a bottomless well in my heart most of my life. That was full of love, and I was nourished. So instantly, I wanted more. And I went along to another session, and that teacher became my first teacher in alchemy of breath, who I worked closely with for about 5 years. And yeah, I suppose that's the moment that I realized this is my life's calling, and my passion was ignited to
Mm.
explore more.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that sharing, Senaja. And yeah, I remember you, because I knew you then, and I remember it was just like this light bulb moment, and it was so exciting to see, when somebody has really found their purpose. It's really, really exciting. And then you just kept growing from there, and now she's an amazing facilitator of breathwork, and she's working in Bali and online, and also when things open up, you'll be going back to Australia, of course, as well, in Perth. So I'd love to know. A lot of people are wondering, how can breath work actually help them? How can it practically help them with things like anxiety or depression, or even just like feeling low energy, because I know a lot of people right now, a lot of my own clients are talking about how they wake up feeling uninspired and tired, and they just don't seem to, as they go through the day, they don't feel energized, they don't feel inspired. So if you could tell us a little bit about how breathwork can help people like that are kind of maybe down or feeling low energy, um, that would be wonderful. I'm sure people would love to hear about that.
Sure, yes. Thank you, Michelle. And like you said, breathwork has such a wide gamut of how it can support a person in growth, expansion, awareness, clarity in your life, in your purpose, in just feeling the fullness of being alive and celebrating life. So, in answer to your question more specifically around depression and anxiety and low energy, there are those two are actually can be a polarized opposite of the same thing, because the different breath pattern you choose promotes a different state of being within the moment. So I'd like to separate the tiredness one from the anxiety and the depression, and address them differently. Yeah. So we'll start with the anxiety and the depression, if that's something that you're feeling, and of course it comes in waves or at moments or at times during your day. Notice it first. The first thing to overcoming anything, to achieving anything, is to notice it. So, of course, notice, like, oh, okay, I feel these feelings coming in, and I know them, they're familiar. Yeah. And so, as soon as you notice, you can take charge of your situation and your state of being and do something about it. It's conscious choice of how you choose to be. And so I'm going to share with you a way of breathing that will help when you feel the anxiety and depression come on, a breath pattern that will support you to, let's say, reduce the effects of it. So, not to become overwhelmed by the depression and the anxiety. So, when you feel it coming on, however that be for you, like a sensation in the body, or usually a shortness of breath too, or some, tingling or tightness, you know your signs. So listen to that, and then choose to breathe, and choose to breathe fully and balanced, and lengthen the breath, especially the exhale. So I'll do an example for you, and if you like, breathe along with me. It's fun to do anyway, and then you can feel the effects of different breath patterns on in your system and choose when you wish to engage with them. So I'd encourage mouth breathing, but it's up to you if you want to breathe through your nose. And long, big, full-bodied right? This is like the whole body, all the way from the perineum up to the top of your head. Like really let your body expand. And even just one breath of that brings a lot of awareness for you. So let's play. And when you're ready, join in. So notice what's happening in you now, just after those few breaths. So what this does, by elongating the breath and connecting the breath as well, this activates the parasympathetic nervous system in your body, which allows your whole system to rest. Yeah, and this helps deal with the stress and the anxiety and the depression. So now to address the other end of the spectrum, which was being tired, if you choose to energize your body, then that's a different breath pattern. And I often do this in the day with so many things that we're all doing all the time. Yeah, we kind of run out of oomph in moments. And so I choose to breathe to raise my energy and my vibration. And a really simple one to give you energy initially is, again, you can do it through the mouth or the nose. And this is a faster breath. This is a breath to really invite the oxygen in. Still make it as full as you can. Yeah. And let's play. Let's do it. So join in when you're ready. And then allowing yourself to come to what some sense of normal breath is. How do you feel now in compared to the one before as well? This one, you're probably feeling more clearer and lighter in your body as well as your mind, more open, more at ease, more alert also. Yeah. And probably more inspired to take action. So I do hope that these two breath patterns were useful. And of course, there's many more and so much more information that can be.
That's wonderful, Senaja. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us, Milad. And I'm not sure if you've ever experienced breathwork before, but Senaja was just leading us through a breathwork practice. And the first one, which I think you may have missed, was more about managing anxiety and, maybe some, mild depression and using a slower breath. And then she went on to show the second practice and demonstrate how the faster breath was more of an energizing type of breath. So there's many types of breathwork practices, and I don't know them all because I'm not a certified breathwork practitioner, but that's why I've invited Senaja on this show. That's interesting that you're jittery. That's very interesting. You're more than welcome to click on the phone. There's a phone icon. If you have any questions, you can call in and actually ask Senaja a question. Or if you're a bit shy, you can type a question in the box and Senaja would be happy to answer your questions. But it's so great to have you here and experiencing the power of breath. I know that Senaja has also worked with breath as a tool for facilitating healing and transformation of trauma work. And she has a lot of training with trauma release work. Is that right? And maybe you could tell us a little bit more about how breath can be used to help people with who are dealing with trauma.
Mm. Yes, thank you, Michelle. The modality I'm trained in is biodynamic breathwork and trauma release. And so we incorporate or welcome a lot of different aspects to that modality, breath being the primary one. And the breath, as you've just experienced, engaging in different breath patterns puts us into a different state of being, as well as the breath. It's an information highway. It's a two-way street. We can observe the breath and understand a lot of how a person's being, and we can choose a breath pattern to influence how a person is being and the state of consciousness. So, in regards to trauma, we it's a very body-based modality as well. So we observe the body, where the breath is going, where it's not, where it's restricted or challenged, and through opening to the full breath pattern, similar to the one that we did before, the first one for addressing the anxiety and depression. Generally using that breath pattern, we notice and allow the body's wisdom to then come through. And it could come through in movement or other ways. We can use touch and gently work with the myofascia or the belts of tension and de-armor the body. And generally the body shows us where the trauma is locked into the body. Yeah, our muscles hold the memory in the cells. And so it will show us by movement or something. Yeah. And then we invite the breath there, and the breath creates space for things to move and shift or just be. Yeah. To hold whatever is present. And when awareness comes to the body with the breath and these sensations that are presenting, the trauma, which is locked in, it's a process, it's a natural process that has been stopped and it's locked in the body. Then the trauma has the opportunity to be released. It usually appears in tremors through the body when the trauma is released. Yeah. And then by releasing it from the body, its hold, its grasp on your life, whether it be emotional or mental, or when it gets triggered and you react in certain ways, one may react in certain ways, those dissipate as well. Yeah. So the breath really opens the doorway to the core essence of you and the core patterning of you, to then have the option of choosing how it is you choose to live and what it is you still want to engage in. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Oh, wow.
Thank you.
That was a beautiful explanation. And yeah, it's quite profound, really, when you think about it. And it goes all the way back to, the ancient times of India, when they're practicing pranic breathing. And the evolution of that is now, what we call breath work. But it's all connected and in a way just kind of, yeah, it's an evolution, it feels like. And I recently had a client, young boy, 13, and he has a lot of physical pain in his body. And he's been to many, many doctors, and they can't really figure out how to help him. And so, as always, the last resort for most people is to come to people like myself and Senaja, who, we're alternative practitioners. We're always the last resort, but it should have been the first resort. And so, I am working with him, and not directly with the pain, but with the trauma. And so it's true, the breath is incredible. It's an incredible way to access that trauma without without re-traumatizing, I would say. Yeah, there's a gentleness in utilizing breath work as a tool for healing and transforming trauma and other emotional, mental, and physical issues. So just wanted to put it out there one more time, in case you would like to ask Senaja any questions. Any questions are welcome. And as you ask questions, it also helps other people understand more. So feel free to come forward if you have any questions about breath work. Okay. Okay. So at this point, I'd love to just kind of get into more about Senaja's upcoming offerings and what are you doing in January, February? What kind of special online programs are you offering or services? Just give us some insights into what you're going to be doing in the next month or so.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And yes, I'm very excited about this month. This month, I have a very special offer for your listeners, and we're in January 2021, yes. Just to clarify. And so for this month, I'm offering 50% off all of my online services. And my online services there's going to be 2 group sessions this month, one on the 14th and one on the 28th at 4 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time. And also private sessions as well. And further than that, I'm offering it on the mini series sessions as well, which is 4 private sessions where you can go deeper. These ones are more focused on the trauma release and really working on core patterning. Yeah. I mean, a one-off session can be an exploratory to understand yourself deeper, to get clarity in what's moving in your life and your world. And yeah, to see how you like this modality, how it moves through your beingness and then ripples into your life. And the longer sessions, like the multiple sessions, are for more deeper journeys. And of course, there's many others available that, we tailor to you. Lots of breathwork modalities say it's best to commit to 10 sessions with a certified practitioner to really get the benefit out of it, because at some stages in the breath work, there is work in this word, and it's for a reason. At some stages in the breath work, it can be very confronting, and perhaps you have the tendency to walk away when you're just about to make your breakthrough. So that's why they suggest committing to 10 sessions. I know that's a big ask of people these days. So at the moment, I'm offering mini series of 4 sessions. Yeah.
Awesome.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's really great. And yeah, I love your work. I love what you're doing. It's so great to have you on this show. And, this show is all about sharing, having conversations, exploring consciousness, and definitely breath work for me is absolutely an aspect of our consciousness, because how much more conscious can we be if we, if we're being conscious of the breath? I mean, that's really pretty much says it all. So it's great that you're doing this work, Senaja. Thank you so much for taking the time out in your day to come on to my podcast. And again, I will be uploading this recording shortly after the show. Thank you so much, Milad, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the little breathwork practice. And, please do download the recording and you can listen to the practice again and follow along and get more benefit from it, because the more we do these practices, the more they can really help us with shifting into a higher vibration, and that's what we need now more than ever with the difficulties that are happening in the world. Hey, Hortense, welcome. Oh, I wish you could have come on sooner. It's so great to see you. Love that you're here. Yes, wonderful. Hey, I was just about to close the show, but I'd love to know if you have any questions about breathwork. I'm here today with Senaja. She's a certified breathwork facilitator and practitioner. And feel free to jump on the call if you want to ask her directly or if you want to type a question. I don't know if have you ever experienced breathwork? I'll wait for your answer, yes or no. Not yet. I don't see anything. I am not sure. Would you like to come in and ask some questions? Come click on the phone if you have some questions for Sanaja. She'd love to talk to you if you have any questions. Don't be shy. It's good to see you. Okay, well, you know what, Hortense, no worries. Please check out the recording. It'll be probably ready in about 10 or 15 minutes. She takes you through. Hey, here we go. Awesome. Oh, way to go. Yay. So Hortense, she's got a question. So,
Well, well, it's not really a question. Is it breath worth regarding when you meditating or?
oh, great. Well, I'll let Sanaja answer that for you.
Thank you.
Hi, Hortez. Thank you for being here and thank you for your
Thank you.
question. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Breathwork can be seen as a form of meditation, and some forms of meditations do invite focusing on the breath as
Mhm.
well. So they they work together and they also work separately. Um, I suppose it depends on your trainings of meditation and breath, but they're very, very close in that meditation's more of a mindfulness practice where
Yep.
breath can be a tool to
Mhm.
focus on for your mindfulness. And breath work itself, if you focus on the breath, then that can be a tool to create a state of being similar to
Mhm.
meditation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, in breath work, you can have different awarenesses,
Mhm.
whether it be a body experience or breath work can also assist you to go out into the other realms as well. So,
Oh.
does that answer your question?
Well, it does. It, it does. But as you were talking, lots of things went through my mind
Mm-hmm.
because I know when you are giving birth, you do some breath work. Is that
Mm.
part of it as well?
Yes, rebirthing is actually where breath work comes from. One of
Okay.
the lineages, there's two lineages that
Okay.
modern day breath work um, originates from, if you like.
Yeah.
One is holotropic breathwork, which was developed by Stanislav Grof in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a psychologist and he keeps holotropic breathwork very clear in the way that it's presented and held and the experience of that. Whereas rebirthing, as you
Mhm.
mentioned, that came primarily through Leonard Orr. And that has, if you like, it's kind of similar to yoga in the fact that yoga's taken on very, like a lot of flavors, if you like. You know, there's Ashtanga, there's Yin, there's Vinyasa, there's flow, there's all
Yeah.
sorts of different styles. So rebirthing has branched out into many, many different styles of breath work.
Okay.
But at the core of it, it is rebirthing and it's all focusing on conscious, connected breath.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I have to
Mm.
apologize for coming onto the show late because it just showed on
Ah.
my phone, which was in my bag. And I heard breathwork, and I was like, oh wow, what is that? But I have to
Ooh.
apologize for being late. And hopefully next time you are on, I will be on from the beginning. So I'm not.
Oh, no worries, Hortense. It's great to see you. Thank you for coming. And when I upload the show, she
Yeah.
actually already took us through a couple of practices, and you
Ah,
can listen to them and go through the practices. You can listen
will
to the
do.
recording later,
Will
and
do.
you'll have a better understanding because Senaja explained a lot in the beginning of the show, and you'll be able to understand a little bit more. But no, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you. And thank you, Senaja, for all your explanation. And I will listen to the show again. And hopefully next time you're there, I'll have more questions.
Yeah, thank you, Hortez. Yeah, and feel free to contact me as well.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All
Thanks so
right.
much for joining us today. It's been an awesome podcast, and just really feeling grateful for the breathwork session I did today with Senaja here in Bali. I just feel like when we have these tools in our lives, it just makes it easier to get through these tough times. So, this is what this podcast is about. It's supporting other alternative therapists so that they can have abundance in their life to continue this very important work. And also, from my perspective, it's about just sharing as many tools as possible with the world to help people step into their highest potential and really live a joyful life. So thank you for coming today, and sending you all so much love and many blessings. And I don't know if you want to say goodbye.
Thank you for being here and for listening and for radiating the light that you are. With your curiosity, match it with the breath and be brilliant. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao. And thank you, Michelle.